Hey, very pleasant good afternoon as we welcome you into our Thursday edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. And dear Goon, it is the time of year where colds and other such ailments, man, I don't know what it is. We're going round and round in our house. I keep like, all right, I finally shook it. And then the next day it's like, I got a little touch of something back. And I swear we just it's kind of the same thing. My wife was like, "Oh, that was bad," but now I got over that. And then next day she's like, "Oh, I don't feel so good again." And I swear we're just somehow going round and round in our place. So apologies ahead of time.
Liberty, and you gave it to me
for any sneezes, any sniffles, any other ailments, coughs, and such that permeate the show today. Apologies in advance. Lots to get to today. There are just so many interesting things going on in the world of sports. I'm still trying to kind of wrap my mind around where we're headed with college athletics and what the future will look like. And I've had a couple of interesting conversations over the last 48 hours just about that, and different ideas, different thoughts on how this stuff may ultimately shake out. And again, the truth is none of us know right now exactly what the future is going to look like 5-10 years down the road. Heck, we don't know what next year is going to look like, really. So you just try to keep up with it as best you can, try to follow it. I do think it's going to change I think it already has to some degree changed the relationship that fans have with teams. Now, the degree to which that has changed and the degree to which it will change, I don't know. I think, again, it's going to vary a bit from person to person, but it is definitely changing. And how much, again, how drastically it changes, I think depends on kind of how some things evolve here over the next few years. And it starts with the figuring out where the leadership is going to come from. And that to me is the biggest thing. Everybody, well, I think most of us believe that it is going to eventually it's going to be the Big Ten and the SEC, at least as conferences, kind of setting the tone and leading the way. But exactly what that looks like and how that plays out, and everybody I talk to goes like, yeah, they got to get collective bargaining. Okay, I agreed. I think we all, like 90% plus of people following this are like, yeah, there's got to be collective bargaining. With whom and how does what does that look like? How does that get done? The negotiating process, is it done each sport separately? Do you have one negotiation process for football, another for basketball, another for, or is it all just, yeah, this is the agreement with student athletes? We don't know any of this stuff yet. But they've got to get some sort of parameters put in place and know where the leadership is coming from. And it sure as hell isn't coming from the NCAA. I mean, every time you turn around, the NCAA is doing something even dumber than the thing they did the week before, which you thought was the dumbest thing they could ever do. So they have lost all credibility. They have lost all real power. And now it's some organization or entity has to step in and fill that void. But who and how, I'm not sure. All right, good. You solve it. Give us all the answers here.
Well, you're right. It's who is doing the bargaining for the players, and then which sport are they bargaining for? Because let's just take Indiana, for example. Their basketball program used to be the king of the hill over in Bloomington. Now the football team is. So does more money flow towards the football team versus the basketball team? Does it go into a one big pot and they decide that they figure it out? It's ever changing and it's insane and stupid. And I did see one rationale, and that is the NCAA is going to agree to the yes to everything they possibly can because they want Congress to step in. And they want Congress to go in, and then the last thing you want is the freaking government involved.
Amen.
Right?
Thank you, Rich.
You know, and they're going to sit there, and they're going to call, like Donald Trump says, no one can have a football game on the same day as Army Navy. Okay, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll play Friday and Sunday then.
Yeah.
It's got to be fixed. Football, I mean, what do you start with football? It can't just be this one binding thing for all sports.
Correct.
Right?
I believe that is correct.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's just like, you and I still have questions. Okay, is this revenue sharing? Okay, so we say it's 70%. I'm just going to give it a round number. I know it's over the number, but say $20 million. And they say a 3/4 of that's going to go to the football program. Yeah, there's 105 guys on there. I get it. I mean, they're bringing home all the money. So they're getting that money. So they have to hear me out here. I don't know. Does that money evenly get shared with all 105 guys? That's 75%? Or does it like the quarterback he gets $2 million of that? The starting middle linebacker gets $1 million and you work your way around and like the guys who are on the butt end get like, here's $5,000? Or is it going to be equal? I don't know.
Well,
is it when you hear a story about Michigan's quarterback getting a $10 million from LSU, $10 million deal from Michigan last year, and now from LSU. So where is that $10 million? Is that part of the revenue share, or is that coming from a different entity?
No, that's different entity.
So that guy can collect from the Michigan profit share. He can get money from that and extra.
Correct. Yes. As anybody, at least theoretically, can. Yeah. And one of the things
you thought scholarship, I'm sorry, a half a quarter and partial scholarships in wrestling was crazy.
Well, so that is, but so this is the thing. And I've had some people explain a little bit more, but I need to, I'm going to delve into this a little further with people that know what they're talking about, which is not me, because I did think that it was either if you were on the roster, you were full scholarship, or you just weren't on the roster.
That's what I thought too.
But we've had this series now of preferred walk-ons. Jake Lukac, by the way, the most recent state high grad, which is really cool. Love it when the local guys get the opportunity. So you have both Deontay Sheffy and Jake Lukac off of this state high team joining Penn State. But I have questions about that in terms of, like, what do they need to, because there is the 105 scholarship, or scholarship and roster limit.
Yeah.
So my question is, questions are, one, is it just like how much of a cost-saving measure is it to, hey, we're going to bring in 10 preferred walk-ons and 95 scholarship players, and those preferred walk-ons, then we don't have to, it's some money, however much it is, that you're saving the athletic department or the football program. And I guess my question,
I thought they were gone.
How upset are you as a preferred walk-on or a walk-on that, hey, I'm taking one of the spots, but I'm not getting what the other guys are? Or is it, hey, this is cool that I have the opportunity and you're grateful for it, and maybe you can work into a scholarship the way it has been done for years and years, where because you come in as a walk-on, obviously doesn't mean you remain a walk-on forever. And we've all seen the really cool videos over the years with Penn State and all of the other programs when they gather around and give a scholarship to a walk-on player, and everybody celebrates, and it's really cool stuff.
It is.
But I'm also what I'm not clear on is, all right, if you are a walk-on, then are you getting none of the revenue share, or are you you're getting some? And also with the other perks, are you getting the same
meal plan
food? Yeah, the same supplement opportunities, medical care, and all of that stuff.
When I was playing, I met a red shirt.
Yep.
Did not have the dining hall ability to go to our dining hall, but they could pay extra money in their meal plan and be part of the. We only had one meal a day.
Interesting.
In the dining hall.
That was
that was back in the day.
Back
in the day, that whole 30-some years ago.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what it is now. I mean, I can't imagine them saying, "Hey, you know, the cafeteria that's hooked to our football facility, where you're working out 40-some hours a week, you can't go in there." I mean,
instinctively, I would think that is correct.
Yeah, but medical care
I don't
medical
definitively know that. Well, yeah, but yes, if you break your leg, I presume they're going to take care of you. But on the preventative side, I guess is my question. Are you getting the same access to all of the different facilities now, whether it's the big thing now seems to be either doing the cold or the hot treatment. That seems to be a big thing now, and going from one to the other. And again, it's not just I guess I'm presuming you have access to the weight room, but are all of the other amenities available to everybody, and it's just that you're not getting your scholarship taken care of, and you're still getting paid, or is it no, you're not getting the resources that are available to these scholarship athletes? I find that just a curious sidebar to the ongoing issues surrounding college athletics.
Well, the first question is how many walk-ons are allowed, because we were under the impression there was no walk-ons. Now
for football,
now do you have 105 scholarship players and as many walk-ons as you want? So what has changed then? All we do is raise the scholarship number, and if you're still going to allow walk-ons the way they have,
but the roster is limited at 105
scholarship or 105 total guys.
105 is the roster.
They could have 105 walk-ons. Okay.
I mean, I guess in theory, I don't know if there's a minimum. I'm guessing there's a minimum. I don't know if it's the 85 that they were at. That whole thing is just kind of fascinating to me. And I've talked about it before. It's one thing in football. I guess I'm assuming, and maybe I shouldn't be assuming. I'm assuming all of the big time schools, the FBS schools, are at least in the same neighborhood. Whether hey, you all have 105 roster limit. I'm assuming all of them are still at least 85 scholarships, and maybe they've all settled on, we're going to do 85 to 95. I don't know that, but I'm guessing they're at least in the same ballpark. What is, and again, I'm not 100% sure I'm right about that, but I feel fairly confident in that. What is, I think, going to be problematic is other sports, for example, wrestling, and just because I'm more familiar with that, but any of these Olympic sports where, again, the opportunities, the allowance, I should say, for scholarship athletes has gone up dramatically. I think very few programs are actually giving out what the maximum allowed is for a given sport. But like a Penn State may be giving 24 full scholarships, and I don't know this, so don't now we know. I truly don't know. I'm making up the number. Let's just say Penn State says, yep, we can go 24 scholarships with wrestling. and then we have 6 other spots on the roster. Well, that's terrific for Penn State and for the athletes there. I'm telling you, Lock Haven, you can give them 80 scholarships, and they're still only going to be able to afford and I don't know the exact number, but I think it's around 6 that they can do. Well, now where it was 9.9, and Lock Haven and some of the other schools were at a disadvantage because Penn State and Iowa and all the big time wrestling programs were doing the 9.9, and you were at 6. That was a disparity, and that's a problem in terms of, hey, trying to be competitive. But now you take it, again, you're about 4 scholarships shy of the next team. Well, now you're 18 scholars. Well, that's a pretty drastic difference now. And it's not only the scholarships, but obviously then the additional financial opportunities that Oklahoma State or Penn State or Iowa can provide compared to, again, take your pick of 90% of the wrestling programs out there. Well, again, I get that there was a disadvantage before and it wasn't really an even playing field and they didn't really have, but now you have no chance. I mean, there's it's not, you're not in the same realm. And for how long? And again, I think it's the same thing. There's going to be a handful of baseball programs that are like, yep, we're all in. A handful of gymnastics programs, a handful of, swimming and diving. I mean, right on down the list. So, yeah, we have a really proud tradition there. Now we're allowed 25 scholarships. We were allowed 12. We're going to go to 22. And then the other swimming programs that were like, we can still be okay. We can't afford the 12, but we can do the 10, and I'm completely making up the numbers. But, well, now, is it worth it if you're, instead of 2 down, you're 12 down in the scholarships? And for how long are teams going to, our programs going to be looking at that, and athletic departments going to be looking at and saying, yeah, no, we're okay spending money on that, knowing we have no chance to be competitive? Or do you start to say, yeah, you know what? We can't be competitive in that sport anyway. A little bit more money over here for the football and the basketball. And that is, I think, the very real concern that a lot of folks have about the direction we're heading. And so, again, at the end of the day, it's going to be, I think, very bad for opportunities given. I think the competitive level, like if I think we've talked about this before, but the NFL is really competitive. Well, they don't have the 100 and some teams that college football has. I like the 100 and some teams in college football, but if you whittle it down to 30 teams, well, now you're going to have really good football all of the time. Well, if you whittle the wrestling down from the, whatever it is, 78 programs to 15, okay, it stinks, but at least the 15 can be, we're all in. We can fund this, and you're at least competitive as far as it goes with the programs that are in. But again, the overall opportunities for young people decrease at a time, and we had a discussion this morning on the drop that we are seeing in youth sports, in high school sports, in terms of competitors. We're seeing fewer young people participate in sports, even at the youth level and certainly at the high school level. If you combine that number reduction that we're already seeing, and again, I think there's a number of reasons for it. I think COVID, burnout factor, screen time, all of those things I think are playing into it. If you add to that, by the way, previously you had like a 1 in 50 chance if you were a high school athlete of getting to the collegiate level. Now you got about a 1 in 500 chance. Well, how many kids are And families are going to say, yeah, let's stick with this versus let's find another way to go about getting to, quote unquote, a successful place in life. I just, I don't know. I am very worried about where this thing is headed. And I don't think it'll be immediate. I mean, I don't think it'll be the next couple of years, but man, the next 5 to 10 years, I don't know.
I find it.
I don't
what
know.
Did you say the word, the donor what? Donor when they're being literally hounded by every freaking
fatigue.
sport.
Yeah, no, folks are getting,
that's where it's going to come from.
Of...
It's going to come from the people who are saying, hey, listen, like I told you, like somebody from, say somebody from Indiana.
Yeah.
Not Mark Cuban. I'm not talking about the rich. I'm not talking about the crazy family, but a big fan. They had to go to where? Rose Bowl? They had to go to the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
They had to go to not the Fiesta Bowl, maybe the Peach Bowl. Then they had to go to Miami. That's in like a 4-week span over the New Year.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get hounded in February for their donations towards the NIL, towards the university. Now you have to decide: do I want money to go to the university? Do I want money to go towards the NIL? It's insane what and they are just going to get hounded and pounded.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, hey, listen. If you want me to go travel into the game, I have friends from Texas Tech. They went to a couple of games, and they're like, man, they're going to ask me for money. I spent a lot of money going to these games. It's a big thing. Huge thing. Big-time money.
Yeah.
That's where I think it's going to come from. When the money stops coming in, they're going to be like, okay, we got to fix this now.
Yeah, we have somebody please tell us when a contract no longer became binding by its terms. Listen, that's been a long-term problem in sports. I mean, coaches,
yes.
I mean, that was a problem.
That's why we're at where we are.
Yes, but I mean, we've had how many coaches over the years that
I'm not leaving.
Yes, I am
not leaving.
Absolutely not. And I've signed the 5-year deal. Love it here. And then a week later, oh, by the way, I actually am leaving. I'm taking this job that I've been waiting for. Well, that's
during the interview.
I mean, I'm with you, but man, that's and it's not just sports. I mean, you see it. We don't hear about it as often, but contract issues and people not holding up their terms of a contract is unfortunately a lot more common than at least I would like to see it, or would like to believe it should be. We also have if Mensa and Miami win this over Duke, it will destroy college football, as each year players will be free agents under any situation. Here's the thing. I mean, when you say destroy college football, it is already destroyed in terms of the game we knew. Yeah. Like that is gone. I compare it to free agency in professional sports, which my grandfather and a lot of people of his generation said, and if they were still around, would tell you it did. It ruined pro sports. Again, it depends on how you're defining ruin, because they're making a ton of money. They are going on. I mean, it's hard to argue that it actually ruined it, but in terms of it's a much different product than when we were growing up. And I'm not even saying necessarily worse. It's just a much different product than it was in the 70s.
Are we talking collegiate or NFL or professional?
Yeah, professionals. Okay. Much different with free agency.
What do you mean? Like baseball teams having a $700 billion payroll and saying we'll pay it in 30 years?
And so that change has already occurred. I mean, there's already a sea change in college athletics. Again, in some people's eyes, it's college football has already been destroyed. Now, again, it depends on your definition of destroyed, because it's not, still a very popular and very profitable entity. But has it changed, and is it very different? Yes. And yeah, it would be very different. And yes, I'm not sure that we're not already at that point where players each year are free agents under any situation. That's pretty much what we have right now. I think where we need to go is, again, they have to get a handle on this through some sort of collective contractual agreement. And again, I'm not sure. And that's one of the problems right now is, all right, well, is it going to be each conference that's not really going to work unless the conferences all get together and they have the exact same, right? Because then, our contract is for 10 years. Our contract is for 3. Well, you can't work it that way and make it a reasonably fair system for those that are involved. So somehow, some way, they have to get a governing agency that at least controls all of football, maybe a separate agency for basketball. And I don't know if you need one for each sport, or you can just have one that is collective for the so-called Olympic or non-revenue sports, and handle it that way. I don't know. But you've got to figure something out so that the schools, the programs, have some type of assurance that, okay, if this guy does leave, that we've invested a lot of time and effort in and money, that there is some compensation coming back to us, the school. And yeah, this Duke thing, if you've not been following it, is
it's just
crazy, and it's very similar to what we saw happening with Washington, and then the quarterback said, never mind. No, I really actually love Washington, and I'm staying here after Washington threatened to
I got a new one for you,
sue,
Jeffrey.
and do kind of the same thing Duke is doing with Mensa. So
I'll give you the key points of this article I was reading this morning. Former
All right.
Alabama basketball player Charles Bediako is suing the NCAA to regain his college eligibility. He declared from Alabama in the 2023 NBA draft.
yeah,
Is not playing. Said he never would have left college if he had the economic opportunities he has now. He is suing to get his time back at Alabama.
the whole eligibility thing is, did you see the Puff Johnson ruling that came out? So Puff Johnson, if you're not familiar, played for Penn State basketball the last couple of years. Last year was his final year of eligibility. He had a wrist injury, and then broke his wrist after 17 games, which at that point, under NCAA rules,
No more medicals.
You cannot use a medical red shirt. It's too many games played. What Puff Johnson and his lawyers argued was that there was a misdiagnosis of the original wrist injury by Penn State, and that the broken wrist never would have occurred had the original injury been properly diagnosed and I presume then properly treated. And therefore, he should still have the that additional year of eligibility. And after back and forth, there was a court ruling, an injunction handed down, and yes, he now is eligible and is on the Ohio State roster. That's where he transferred to. Now, he was eligible Tuesday night, did not play in the game against Minnesota. So we'll see. Again, I don't know how much of a transition period he needs to get up to speed and how he fits in with the grand picture there for Ohio State. But he is going to be allowed to play now the remainder of this season for the Buckeyes. We have this ongoing, this, again, to me, absolute idiocy where we've gone from 5 games that you can play to now 9 games. But, man, we're not going to give you just a 5th year. Well, if you're giving 9 games and you're allowing them, and the postseason doesn't count, right? And so if you get to the postseason, so you're saying a kid could ultimately play 12 games, I guess 13 with the conference championship. You could play 13 games and retain your redshirt status, but we're not going to let you play a 14th game. That would be ridiculous. I mean, what are you doing? If at that point, right, you're going to, just to show that you still have some power, you're going to say, yep, these are the 3 games. This is where we're putting our foot down. You're not going to play in all of the games. There's going to be 3 where you have to sit out. For what purpose at that point? Come on. So, again, they need a different governing agency, and they need to figure out, though, what the more intriguing part to me is the student athletes need to figure out how they go about collectively bargaining with whatever entity it is they need to bargain with. And I still I don't know how that works itself out, because there has to be an agreement, right? A consensus by the student athletes on how they do it.
Conference level, then the conference level selects a person, and then they go to the the board, and there's 5 guys that they collectively speak for them.
Get it figured out.
It's crazy.
All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, Penn State hoops at Rec Hall tonight. I do love the return to rec games. Penn State and Wisconsin, Nittany Lions trying to get that first win in the conference. Wisconsin has been playing much better as of late. Tough assignment here for the Nittany Lions, but we'll talk about that when we return. You're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Serenos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many of Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members. Tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors. People invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again.
The Fox, your sports radio. Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America. 98.7, The Fox State College.
And back here on a Thursday afternoon as we gear up for the weekend. Kind of kicks off tonight over at Rec Hall, 7 o'clock, Penn State and Wisconsin. In men's hoops, the Nittany Lions looking for that first conference win of the season and see if maybe a little Rec Hall magic can bring it to them. I will say Wisconsin has been playing much better basketball as of late, come in riding a 4-game win streak, and Penn State will need a much better effort than what the Nittany Lions had over the weekend in order to get that first conference win. But
I'm watching that Maryland game.
Yeah.
And I didn't
it.
even preview it, didn't even look at the records or anything like that. I just figured Maryland's Maryland. They're a really good team.
No.
I see their record, and I'm like, I see where they're in the Big Ten. I'm like, how the hell are we down 30 to this team at half?
Yeah.
What in the hay?
Yeah. Not good. Hopefully they come back with an inspired effort tonight.
I think that they will. I think that tonight is a big one.
Hopefully they get an enthusiastic, energetic, and big crowd, big for Rec Hall, and they're able to pack that place with the whiteout, bring the whiteout energy, and get over the hump here and see if they can get on a bit of a run. The schedule does ease up, not that it's easy, but it certainly eases up from what Mike Rhodes
2
and
weeks,
company,
my goodness.
Yes, we're faced with out of the gate in conference play this season, and love to see them get on a bit of a roll. Also, huge weekend for Penn State hockey as the Nittany Lions. Are you not getting some of the same vibes you did coming out of the break last year? I mean,
absolutely, brother.
4 straight here in the conference, 5-0, 5-game win streak for Penn State, heading into a couple of huge games on the road at Wisconsin. And if you can at least get a split in this series on the road against the higher-ranked Badgers, again, I think you're starting to set the stage. Obviously, if you can get a sweep here, then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, look out. This feels like a team that could, make the Frozen Four type of run and more again this season. And listen, they have big opportunities awaiting the next couple of weekends with the top 2 teams in the country, in Michigan State and Michigan awaiting as well.
They're away this weekend.
Exciting times. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think of what sports are in town this weekend.
Yeah, wrestling will be here.
Be a wash.
Yeah, wrestling is an away home away weekend. So they'll be home tomorrow night. Yeah. Penn State will wrestle Indiana, and then I think they'll be able to get down to Maryland and take on the Terrapins Sunday afternoon. The question is, will the team be able to get home on Sunday? And I don't know the answer to that just yet.
I can help you out with that answer right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero chance of that happening.
Yeah, you don't think?
Nope.
Yeah, we'll see.
I wouldn't want them to travel. I mean, there's nothing. Sunday, you go on Monday, they'd be fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
You'll be down there, Ironhead.
Yep, Penn State will again be home with Indiana at Maryland. Then on Sunday, the Indiana match at Rec Hall gets underway at 7:00 tomorrow night. Penn State, by the way, 5 shutouts already on the season. That has already tied the record for most shutouts in a season by a Penn State wrestling team. And when you look at the matchups on paper, and they don't wrestle it on paper, but on paper, Penn State would be favored to get shutouts in each of the 2 dual meets this weekend. Unfortunate news for Maryland, and really just for fans of wrestling. Jackson Smith, their very talented 84-pounder, is out for the rest of the season, and that is a bummer because he's a very talented wrestler, fun to watch. He's got some a unique style to him, and I was sorry to see that news. Again, there should be some very good individual bouts, and certainly shutouts are not guaranteed in either duel. But Penn State will be favored in all that it will wrestle this weekend if you go by the rankings. Anyway,
I'm over here just chirping in my ear, laughing a little bit, like, oh, God, the guy weighs 84 pounds. Holy crap! To the wrestling novices out there, it's 184.
Yeah, so
that's a novice. So the record is 5, and they have it for shutouts already, and they have the opportunity to get 2 more this weekend.
Yeah,
and then okay, 2 cents from the Goon here. We're watching this wrestling team, dude. They're having fun. They're awesome. They're cheering each other on. They're on the sideline, laughing, joking.
Yeah,
cheering. God, it's awesome. It's a fun team. I mean, you tell me. You travel with them.
Yeah.
Are they like super tight? Are they all buddies type of thing?
So yes, they are. And I've probably spent too much time on it, but I really am intrigued by how important those road trips are in one, I guess, revealing the chemistry that the team has, but also helping to build it. Again, when you're on the road, it's just you, and you're with your teammates pretty much the whole trip, and you're experiencing, in some cases it's a new area that maybe you haven't seen before, or certainly you go through the dual meet experience, you're seeing different venues and figuring out, hey, how are we going to kill the next few hours till we go to sleep? And so, even on the plane or the bus, it's just that the dynamics are, I think, very interesting to watch. And it's not that Penn State hasn't had team chemistry from the day Cal and company stepped in. It's just this year there is, and I can't put my finger on it. And again, the chemistry has been great the last couple of years as well. It's not that they had to fix something. It's just, it is extraordinary to me this season. And it's just all of these kids are so united in purpose and wanting to do well, certainly for themselves. I mean, you put as much time into this as they have, and you have the success that they've had. Yeah, you want to achieve at the highest levels for you personally. But I'm just telling you, it is genuine, the enthusiasm they have for each other and wanting to see, and I don't think it's an exaggeration. I think these guys get more excited. Like a Levi Haynes, I guarantee you will be more excited for a PJ Duke if he wins a national title, or a Josh Barr after getting so close last year, him winning a national title, or a Rocco Welsh, than he will for himself. It doesn't mean he doesn't want it badly for himself. Doesn't mean that he's not in it to get the win for himself. But he is invested in his teammates and in seeing them succeed because of how close they are. And it's across the board. I just picked Levi out because he's the senior. But I mean, this team is remarkable in its wrestling ability, obviously, with the 6 now number 1 ranked wrestlers in the country. And you could probably put an argument together that they have 8 that are deserving of the number 1 ranking in their weight class. And again, we'll see how it plays out. There's obviously other great wrestlers at every weight class. I don't think there's a guy there that's an absolute lock. I know some Penn State fans think there are. It's just there's not such a thing in this sport. It's just crazy things can happen. But, yeah, I like the chances of all 8 of those guys when the postseason rolls around. And the thing that I think is really encouraging, if you're a Penn State fan, is I think you're seeing noticeable progression from all 10 guys, all 10 guys in the starting lineup throughout the season. I don't think there's anybody that you're like, man, I wish the Nationals were a month ago. They just seem like they were a little crisper back then than they are now. I think all 10, you're like, no. I mean, Cole Mirasola has figured some things out. It's getting to his offense more. I think if he can add a little bit more to his top game, I think he is right there in the mix at heavyweight. And I don't mean for All-American honors. I mean, I think Cole Mirasola could be a real surprise when the postseason rolls around. I think the same thing with Braden Davis as he, again, just gets back and gets that feel. You're watching him on top, and I think that is the stuff that can be a difference maker in the big bouts. And, yep, I get it. Jesse Mendez is an overwhelming favorite, and rightfully so, and Mendez is special. But I'm just telling you, Braden Davis is coming on, and I think he's going to be right in the mix as well. And obviously the 8 undefeated wrestlers, all certainly contenders for individual titles this season. And so, again, a fun team to be around.
It seems fun.
Yeah, and they have things in great perspective. I just I'll share a little personal anecdote, and I'm not sure I necessarily should. I didn't tell him I was going to share this, but Sam Herring is a freshman. We happened to be out last night. My wife had an event, so we braved the roads, and the Mad Turtle and I went bowling, and Sam was out there and just got to talking, and you can say this about every single kid on that roster. Like, they are just genuinely good people. He took time. He's there for his own time, and we were on the alley right next to him, and so we struck up the conversation, and he was showing a lot of interest in Reg, and we're talking about the history of Penn State wrestling and what it was like in Rec Hall in the 80s and what the crowds were like compared to now, all of those things. And it's like he very easily and understandably could have said, hey, it's good to see you. I'm kind of here, and I'm gonna do my own thing.
My time.
Would have been absolutely nothing wrong with that, but he was exceptionally encouraging to my kiddo, and just again, very kind, great conversation with me, and again, I could say that about every single kid on that roster. There is just a respect, a genuine humanity to them, and then obviously they're very driven, very special individuals, but they kind of get their role too, and they want to be somebody that young people can look up to, or that, hey, you know what, if you work hard, look at what you can do. Like they embrace that, and they are very encouraging to young people and to fans, no matter the age when they're out. I'm not saying there has never been a bad interaction. I really have never witnessed a situation with this team where you're like, man, I wish that kid would have handled that a little differently. And again, they're human beings. I don't need somebody to call up and, hey, I saw them. I am sure there are instances. I'm not making them out to be bigger than life. I'm just telling you, when they are on the road and the kids come up after the dual meets, they sign until every kid leaves with a smile on their face. It's not a situation. Now, sometimes we may be in a rush and maybe somebody on the staff is like, hey, we're really sorry. We got to go. But I'm telling you, the kid or the coaches, I have never seen the coaches say, listen, I'm so sorry. I just got to go. Like they don't do that. And it's been rare even where a staff member, in fact, I've been around a couple of times where the staff is like, we really do got to go. And the coach or the rest was like, it's going to be 5 more minutes yet. Sorry, I just got to finish up with these. And it's like, that's special. It just is. It's not necessarily the norm. So
you love to see that.
Yeah, they're just like,
you don't
fun
realize
to be around.
the importance of meeting people. You know how like.
Yes.
How, like, the old adage is that you treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO because you don't know. And that's,
amen.
You just don't fake that either. That has to be a part of your life. Like, that's how I treat people in general.
Yeah.
Is that,
and that starts at
no idea.
Right? Yeah.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah.
And, not being disrespectful. But these little kids, I remember I was in college. I remember I had a big thing about it. I did an interview. Like Charles Barkley's like, I'm not a role model, and I was like, it pissed me off as a player. But now that I look back on it and what he was saying, and that was, I am not your role model. Your mom and dad should be your role models.
Yes.
Don't look to me. Don't look to Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal. They're great players and athletes. That's not a role model.
Yes.
Your role model should be your mom and your dad or your older siblings or your aunts or uncles or somebody that you love and you want to be
in your community.
Yes. And
yes,
to this day, I always sat there and I hated Charles for saying it then.
Yeah.
But then when I got older and I sort of realized what he was saying, it was like, damn, he had a point. It begins at home.
Yes.
It definitely begins at home. Like you just said about a respect thing of, and you having the respect to these kids are waiting in line. That 10 years ago, that may have been one of those guys, signing those autographs. They were out meeting David Taylor and Bo Nickel, and they were, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And now, now it's being handed down. Now some kids saying, oh my God, I just got Blaze's autograph. I cannot freaking believe this. This is awesome. Love it.
Yeah, it's absolutely the case. And I will say they make it look easy. They really do. I don't know that people appreciate to their degree, and maybe this is just somebody that never had that type of ability, and so I appreciate the perspective they have with it. But there is, while the coaches do everything they can to take the pressure off of these kids, and I do think that's one of the important things that happens in that wrestling room is trying to make it fun and not, hey, you got to go win a national title. You're here to win a national title. That is already known. And these kids feel it, right? Like you're looking, my wife is always, when anybody loses, she's like, oh, I feel so bad because they must recognize, right? Are they just sitting the whole way home like I'm the only one that lost tonight, or I'm one of only two that lost tonight? And it's like, well, yeah, I'm sure there is some of that, because again, the expectation is absurd. Wrestling teams don't have 6 guys ranked number 1. Wrestling teams don't win
Conferences
5
don't have 6
individual titles, more than once in a decade or a couple of decades. And, this stuff has become almost routine, not the 6 number 1s, but the having to get two guys, to get a finalist is a big deal. To get two guys into the finals there is something really special about that.
Wow.
Penn State right now is at the point where if they have three or fewer,
it's a
fans are
season.
disappointed. I mean, you go back to last year, it's like, we had 5 guys that lost in the semifinals. You had 5 guys in the semifinals that lost and then came back and got third. Like, that is crazy good. But the standard had been, well, no, once Penn State gets to the semifinals, they just always win. They win at a 90% clip. And so to have one year where 5 guys lose and, against some of the best competition in the country, it does happen. I don't know. So they are aware. I mean, there is that pressure there, and they feel it. There's no doubt. If you're coming to Penn State, that the expectation is you're going to be part of a national championship team, and that you darn well better be at least an All-American. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how used to the limelight you are. That is a ridiculously high standard and a burden to carry. And again, I think what this team does exceptionally well is not dwell on those expectations, not focus on what the outside pressure may be, but just dial in on, hey, let's have a little fun, see if we can get a little better today, try to get it as good at this craft, the sport that we enjoy so much, and then let whatever happens happen.
Now, just giving you, throwing this out there, if there was a kid who came in here and he was sort of like a disliked guy type of thing, he treated fans like crap, kids like crap, just as an attitude, doesn't fit in well at Penn State, does that word come down from his teammates like, shape up? Is there pressure from the team like, hey, that's not how we are?
There would be from the coaches.
This is the standard of what we've set here.
Yeah, again,
you live by this standard or you get the hell out.
The gratitude part is such a big part of it. And, one of the ways you show gratitude is by how you deal with other people, and in particular fans. And
now there's guys, you lose a match. You lost a match. The last thing you want to do is talk to people after a match. Yeah, and you can understand that. People can understand that, but some people will still, hey, and you can understand where a guy who like, hey, sure, I just lost a big match, but but that's in sports in general, and every level. How do you win when you lose, and how do you lose? How do you act when you win and lose? It's a big, I'm a big proponent of that. I mean, I was raised by good parenting and stuff like that, and that was. You be respectful of your opponents coaches, your coaches, all of this stuff. Win, lose, or draw. You got to be the same person. It doesn't give you the right to be a jag-off if you lose a game or lose a match. It doesn't give you the right to be a tool. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, you got Kale sitting on the other end of the bus like, hey, buddy, come here. Come on back here. So there's a word out there that there's the Penn State team's bus is actually the back of it is just a mat. And Kale just pummels kids.
That's right.
Who don't live up to the expectations of him.
That is exactly what
he goes back there. He goes, you got 15 miles with me.
I didn't think that word would get out, but
15 miles. And you imagine how many miles, how slow those miles are going to be on Sunday traveling back in this weather?
Yep. Sometimes they just have the bus pull into a parking lot and stop for a while. Just to let the meetings continue. Absolutely.
Oh, we're stuck in Maryland. You got to stay back there with Kale. Let's go.
Take a break here. When we come back, talk some NFL football and the press conference for the Bills. Their owner and GM yesterday. Not sure that was a great look. And I love Terry Pagula, love everything he's done here at Penn State. Maybe being out of practice and not being in that press conference situation was part of the problem yesterday. But I do think it's going to make it tougher for the Bills to get a coach. Now, you come in, hey, $20 million, we want you to work with Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean, are they not going to be able to get a coach because of – no. but I think they made it a little more difficult than they needed to with the press conference yesterday. We'll kick that around a little bit. On the other side of this timeout, you're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon Ironhead Show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Serenos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again.
The Fox,
Your sports radio.
broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox, State College.
We are back here on a Thursday afternoon. Quaker Steak and Lube, our home away from home. Love being here. Great place to come on down and watch your favorite sports action. TVs all over the place. You can come down and check out Again, whatever favorite team or sport you are following, and you can do so while enjoying great food. Of course, they have the world famous wings, but man, Goon, their menu is just ridiculously good. It just, and everything on it, it's good. I've become hooked on the steak salad here. They have an orange chicken bowl that I love. Again, the wings are obviously fantastic. Burgers are fantastic. And then, then you can wash it all down with the ice cold beverages.
Coldest beer in town.
And again, the absolute best staff you are going to find. So
yeah, we got a couple big weekends coming up here. Obviously,
yeah, how about it?
Snowmageddon coming in this weekend, but next weekend with the hockey game and all that stuff. The outdoor hockey game, the Byers Jordan Center wrestling match on Friday. Next weekend is going to be absolute mayhem around here.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm leaning forward on this.
That's all right.
I apologize, Jeffrey.
All good.
Maybe you shouldn't have got me sick.
Next weekend will be the obviously the outdoor hockey game. Penn State Wrestling will be in the Jordan Center against Nebraska on Friday night. They'll have the women's hockey game, excuse me, at Beaver Stadium on Friday afternoon, and then the men's game on Saturday afternoon.
I got to show you something, buddy.
That is going to be quite the weekend.
I'm going to show you the 10-day forecast. This is the first day that next Saturday is actually on the 10-day forecast.
Yeah.
The outdoor hockey game.
Yeah.
That's the high and that's the low. That's not wind chills.
17 is the
17 is the high and -1 is the low.
That works. That's what you want for an outdoor hockey game.
Yep. I don't know why they spent so much money on all that equipment to keep that ice cold.
So
The left side.
no, it's the for some reason the mic is not coming. Thank you for letting us know again on the audio. I got to see what's going on because I think this was at the same spot in the show. So for some reason, coming out of that second break, the audio is not popping back on at the end of the commercials. But I, again, appreciate you letting us know about it. Got to try to remember to see if there's something that is occurring there that we can figure out and solve. So when you look at the Bills, though, Goon, to me, Sean McDermott was that franchise, and again, I think had the locker room. I think I think the two things that were really not good out of the press conference yesterday was, I mean, even if it is the case, and it shouldn't be the case, but I
Yap a little bit here about
It went back off.
Okay. We're not on?
No, we're on.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just going mute for, I would love to get it right. See you, Michael. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yeah, I don't know. I have no explanation for why the audio keeps tripping out. I will try to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so go back to this Kale and McDermott thing. And I wanted to, I chimed in a little bit there. I was like, Kale, McDermott comes down here and picks Kale's brain for a week or so, see how the programs run, see how he makes this decision, that decision. But tell me about Kale. Kale was picking his brain as much as every time I've hung around Kale, he's a very quiet guy.
Yep.
And he listens, and he's trying to learn all the time. It's really crazy. So, and we're sitting there saying that Sean picked Kale's brain. I'm sure Kale picked Sean's brains as much as vice versa. I'm sure they had they had a nice conversation about everything.
For sure.
No, I think that's awesome. So hold on. So McDermott, you'd love him with Pittsburgh, right?
Personally, yes. Do I think Steelers fans would?
No.
Not so much. Because the reason you got rid of Tomlin is the same reason the Bills ultimately here got rid of McDermott. And if that's your reasoning, and I get the Steelers didn't get rid of Tomlin, but the fans wanted him gone. The fans are not going to be thrilled. Would I personally be thrilled? Yes. I think McDermott is a terrific coach. I think he, builds that locker room from the inside out. Builds the trust and all of that stuff. I think he's a guy which I think the Steelers, any organization would love to have. But I think that's important if you're going to be in the Steelers position. So I think all of that stuff would be great. It sounds like Chris Shula is at the moment, and as we know, with the last go around, being the leader in the clubhouse doesn't necessarily mean a thing, but it seems like Chris Shula is a guy that is checking the boxes here of what you think the Roonies would be looking for, what the Steelers organization would like to see moving forward.
Could you go all the way back to the hiring of Tomlin on that one? Leader in the clubhouse? Because wasn't the job Russ Grimm's? And then at the last second, it became
there was
Mike
a lot
Tomlin.
of there was a lot of
I thought you were referencing that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Chris Shula is going to get the job. I'm saying it sounds like right now he is the guy that has that is checking off the boxes of what the Steelers have traditionally looked for, and I do think he would get fans excited. Now, you go out and you have a losing season next year, that can turn very quickly. But I think at least for the next year, that would be something that would get the fans excited.
Well, what would you ideally give me the guy for you as a Steelers fan?
Oh, I'd be okay with that. Chris Shula would be fantastic with me. I like I said, I'd be more than okay with McDermott. I think the fact that you don't get to the Super Bowl in X amount of years, and this was the same thing James Franklin was running into at Penn State. It's like, well, you haven't done it in 10 years, so you're never going to do it. Or you keep learning from the process. You figure some things out. You add a little something to the game, and lo and behold, one of the years you get a break or two that go your way, that were going the other way. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the only reason Buffalo hasn't gone to the Super Bowl is just, dumb luck. They just had bad luck. But I'm telling you, they've had some bad luck in these playoff games. And it's not like it's been a consistent. Like in the previous games, it wasn't Josh Allen. There we go, Josh Allen again playing poorly. No, he played well in the previous playoff games. This was the exception this past weekend. You know, Mahomes had some unbelievable plays. It's not all right, man. They just consistently do this wrong in the playoffs. It's been different things. It's been largely the bad fortune of playing Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs when they were rolling and figuring out ways to pull out the game. And I don't know. I think very easily you change a couple of plays here or there, and we're talking about the Bills as, you know, a Super Bowl champion or at least a Super Bowl team, a season or two, and then it's maybe a different feel, a different narrative around the entire situation. But I'm curious to see. I mean, this is the number of what we would call, and I think most people would look at it and say, man, that is a really attractive job opening. Like, I think the Steelers, even though I don't think it's a Super Bowl roster right at the moment, I don't think it's a ton of work that's going to be needed to get them there. And you know the stability of that organization. You know the backing that the ownership is going to provide. Like, that's a pretty darn attractive job. I think that you look at the across the board this offseason, when you go back, Ravens is an attractive job for sure. The Bills with Josh Allen, I mean, that is a very attractive job, especially with the stadium in the works and all of the things going on around that organization. I mean, there are a lot of really appealing opportunities. We're used to having a lot of NFL openings, but it's usually like the teams that you'd expect. And it's like, well, yeah, no wonder they had their fifth straight losing season. Not the case when you're talking about the Ravens, the Steelers,
Giants, the Bills.
Yeah, the Giants just historically, and it feels like they're building.
Dolphins historically, too.
Yeah, with that roster. Yeah, Dolphins, I think same thing. Feels like there's some tools there to work with, and they might not be far off. Even, like the Falcons. And it is going to be fascinating to watch next season, especially when you look at the AFC East and the AFC North and the turnover. Right, 3 of the 4 teams in each of those divisions have new coaches, and just last year we were talking about the AFC North as being this giant of a all 4 of those teams are just phenomenal. Now 3 of the 4 have new head coaches. I don't know. It's just the NFL is just a different animal in terms of the job security or lack thereof. And it's almost like it's just you're expected. Hey, if I'm there 5 years, that's a remarkable run. We'll take it and move on.
Mike Vrabel is the longest tenured AFC East head coach.
Yeah. How about it?
Under a year.
Yep.
I just saw a stat I was given the other day that the streak continues that it's either the Chiefs or the Patriots in the AFC title game since 2011.
Yeah, which
15 years. That's amazing.
It is.
Absolutely amazing. That's a hell of a stat. A hell of a run.
I mean, it would be amazing in any era of football in this day and age, with as much parity and free agency and everything designed to make sure you get the turnover and you get different teams involved. Yeah, to have those two have a stranglehold on at least one of those spots for that length of time truly is absolutely incredible. And I will say the Patriots have retooled, and again, it certainly at least feels like they have their quarterback for the future again and a long-term run there. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to go on a run quite like they had under Tom Brady, but like it does feel like they are built once again for sustained success, and that they're going to be in the mix anyway for the foreseeable future. And now you have, some uncertainty with the Bills and their leadership. You have the Jets are still the Jets. It's like, are they ever going to get out of their own way? And the Dolphins now feels like that's going to be a bit of a real rebuilding project. And again, in the NFL, you can retool and rebuild quickly if you get the right coach and quarterback combination especially. But at the moment, as you sit there and look at it, it's like, yeah, I could see the Patriots going on another 5-6 year run of owning that division, right? Like,
not many people happy about that.
I'm not happy about that.
So like Canadian,
not even a little.
Guy, Shane Gillis, but the guy who's from Baltimore. He's like, it ain't right. He's like, you should have had another decade of pain and suffering
at least
before you start another dynasty. Drake May this, Drake May that. He's legit though. Got to give it to him. The 4 remaining quarterbacks, well, without Knicks, obviously, we don't know about Stidham.
Yeah,
what a situation that is.
Yeah, and listen, maybe the.
Has there been any calls for Colin Kaepernick?
No calls. I have not heard that. I do think it's not that I don't think the Broncos have any chance. It's just, I mean, that is a huge leg up for the Patriots, and I know I get the history of the Sean Payton bring quarterbacks along and all of that, and I'm sure they're going to do everything they can to put Stidham in the best position to have some success, especially early on. But, I mean, this just feels like we're gifting the Patriots another Super Bowl opportunity. Now, the NFC I think that's going to be a fun one. I think that's
both going to be fun. I
hope you're right. I don't think the Broncos Patriots game is.
Can you compare it to anything?
What's
I mean, Hostetler to Sims in the 80 in the 90, and New York Giants maybe, but that was like mid-season, late in the season. It wasn't NFC title game was his first start. The Redskins started a running back for his first NFL career game start in the Super Bowl. He won the MVP, I think.
Yeah.
But I can't recall. I did like the world-class troll that Nick Foles did to the Patriots.
Yeah.
That was a classic. He said that, the Patriots have a history of losing championship games to backup type players.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
What could it
But it was awesome. I mean, everybody's on them. Everybody's like, oh, the Patriots are going to run away with it. I mean, that's a pretty good damn defense they have rocking out there.
It is, but
very good defense.
I don't know.
I know. Yeah, it doesn't
still
look
got
like
to
it's going to
score
happen.
some points. Like,
give me a prediction. I want game prediction of who's winning, Jeff, because I got to call the bookie.
Yeah, I bet all your money on the Broncos because I do. I think the Patriots. I think it'll be 24-13. New England
whooping that booty, huh?
In the AFC Championship game, and listen, I think I won't be shocked either way with the Rams and the Seahawks. I just think that defense right now with Seattle is really special, and I know the Rams can light it up, and I know that's like it's. I think that's going to be a great matchup, right? That Rams offense going against that Seahawks defense. But the Seahawks just show up every week. The Rams, when they are on, they may very well be the best team in the NFL, but they've had more days where they've been off than the Seahawks, for sure. Now, does that mean they won't be on Sunday? No. But in big moments, I'll take the more consistent team, and I think defenses tend to travel better. I realize they're not traveling, but I mean, they carry over better than offense. I think that just like great pitching usually wins out over great hitting because the pitching is there. Like that's just a constant. You can even your best hitters go through slumps from time to time. I think the Seahawks find a way. I think it'll be a terrific game, but I'll take Seattle. I'll say 20-17. Seahawks.
You're going Pats, Seahawks, huh?
Yep. So get your money in on the Rams and the Broncos while you have the opportunity, kids.
Impressive. Very impressive.
All right, we're going to take a break here, and we are back on the other side with a final segment. You are listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Sorentos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS. Once again.
Your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox State College.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to get the audio stuff figured out here as we welcome you back to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show, and trying to figure out what has happened here with the mics, but getting ready for a busy weekend. Again, lots going on really these next couple of weekends when it comes to Penn State sports, and of course the NFL playoffs this weekend. Yeah, I'm not sure, Doug, if you're hearing us through the computer, though. I don't have a way to test that at the moment, I don't think. All right. Yeah, we're having some kind of a issue here. Thank you. I appreciate you letting us know. Let's see if figure out what is going on as again the Eagles making some news here as well. You want to talk for a minute? Go look at this and get this figured out.
Well, regarding talking about the Eagles with the OCBC coaching fiasco, do the Birds go after McDermott? That is a great question. Sirianni, as we all know, is a Buffalo area guy. McDermott wouldn't mind McDermott in Philadelphia, to be honest with you, but I don't know how you get rid of the guy who won a Super Bowl a year ago. So I think that the Eagles are going to stay put with Sirianni. And Sirianni, and by the way, Coach Campbell are best buddies. That's the funny thing about being at Penn State now, is that Sirianni is now a Penn State fan. So the question was during the playoff game was Coach Campbell rooting for his best friend in Sirianni or his quarterback in Brock Purdy? But this weekend, my prediction is, I don't know. Are we going to have a Wally Pipp situation where Stidham's going to come in there and play well? I don't know. I mean, that's what that's the worry everybody's going to have. Is that no one has any idea what the hell is going to happen with this game. But Stidham, I think that the defense is going to carry. Defense is going to carry the day for Denver if they have a chance in this game. I think the Patriots they're a special team right now. I think that Vrabel has these guys playing at a hell of a clip right now. And they seem like they're having fun. I mean, that's like one of my biggest things. You hear me, you've worked with me long enough, Ironhead. How many times do you hear me talk about teams and say, it looks like they're having fun? And when a team looks like they're having fun, they're unbeatable. I mean, unbeatable. Because it's like, all right, you guys are having fun, you're loving each other, and you're doing everything you can possibly to win the game for your brothers. It's the guy to right of you and left of you. So, I don't know. It just seems like they got it going on pretty good. In the other game, the Seattle Seahawks, I don't know. Does Sam Darnold play like Sam Darnold? Does Sam Darnold realize that he's Sam Darnold and plays like crap this weekend? I don't know. Does Sam Darnold realize, holy crap, I'm in the NFC title game and I'm Sam Darnold. I don't know what to do. What should I do, Chuchi? What should I do? So Darnold is a hell of a quarterback. There's a guy right there. That's a name right there that, he might be a little too long in the tooth for the Steelers to turn around, but there's a guy who just got popped around the NFL a couple of times now.
Yeah,
Minnesota gave up on him. I think he's on about his 4th or 15 right now. But his best season so far has been right now with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So, and again, they're gonna hang their hat on their defense out there. So again, drop back quarterbacks, guys who can make some plays of the run game, not purely running quarterbacks. A drop back quarterback who can actually maneuver in the pocket. We got 4 of them in the conference finals right now, and then real good defenses. I mean, there's the recipe right there. If you can't get it out of this year's season and look at it and say, oh, God, this is what we need. We need a good, like the Steelers, we're looking for a quarterback since Roethlisberger.
Yep.
No doubt. They have the defense. They have just needed that quarterback option.
Although the defense had some holes this year, no question about that. So that's, what do you – for the Steelers, I think getting the right coach, obviously, is step one. But then I think the next question is – for the Steelers is like, how close do you think you are? Is it just do you think you can, another good draft class, and if you get that right quarterback, and again, that's always the big if, but do you feel like you're right back in the mix then? And my guess is that at least the organization feels like that's the case. I know there are fans like the biggest issue that I think most fans had with Conlin was, well, you didn't stink anywhere along the way, and so we didn't get the quarterback. Well, there's a couple of problems with that. One is there have been a number of teams that stunk, did get the quarterback they wanted, and they still stunk because the quarterback
got murdered.
Yeah, and for whatever reason. And again, in some cases, maybe it was you
not physically murdered,
didn't correctly evaluate the quarterback spot, or maybe because you were as bad as you were, that quarterback just never had the opportunity to develop.
Example, Cleveland Browns.
Well, and that is my concern with any of these organizations, but like Penn State, do you start, and again, I'm very hopeful. I like Matt Campbell. I think this is going to work out. And I would love, obviously, to see him go out and win a national title here within the first few years, and leave no doubt that, that was the right decision. Look at Penn State now, all of that. That would be awesome, and I'm rooting for it as much as anybody. But again, it's hard to do that, to have that type of success. And part of it is you've got to evaluate guys properly and then put them in the right circumstance. And, for the Steelers, again, I don't know if they had a losing season or two, man, you could have gone out and been able to get, well, okay, but what if the guy you got was one of these guys that didn't pan out? What if you went out, you stuck and, man, Deshaun Watson, here we go. Well, okay, great. Thanks for that. Or, again, name your guy that hasn't worked out as the number 1 or number 2 draft pick. And the Mendoza thing, I just got into, not an argument, but a discussion with somebody on Mendoza and how he will or won't translate to the NFL. And I'm not sitting here. I certainly, my track record speaks for itself. It's awful. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to how these guys are going to translate to the NFL. But it feels to me like Mendoza has as good a chance as anybody, because this isn't a guy that's going to take anything for granted. He has had to prove himself and then some every step of the way. And I think he's going to bring the confidence that he has along with the humility. And I think, even if it's the Jets, God bless him if it ends up, hopefully it's the Ravens that he goes to, because I at least think you have a fighting chance there. The Jets, I'm not so sure you have a fighting chance no matter how good you are. But I think the Raiders, there's enough pieces there that if he goes there, I think he will translate well to the NFL, because, he is a leader. You cannot have watched what has happened with Indiana these last couple of years. And I think he can make the throws. Again, I'm not as much of an expert on that. I'm not sitting there watching every throw he makes. But man, it sure seemed like he has the arm strength. He has all of the tools that you would think you would need to make it at the next level. And then it comes down to intangibles. And I find it hard to believe that this guy is going to not be able to make it in the NFL because of any intangible. If anything, he has so many intangibles to give him a fighting chance that even if he can't make all of the throws or he can't do some of the things that you want your quarterback to do, it's like, well, it's going to work anyway because he's going to will it to work, is what it feels like to me.
It's like the constant thing over and over and over again. You're going to have these quarterbacks who get pushed into starting roles when they're not physically ready. The NFL is a dog. It is a bad place of men. It is, they eat quarterbacks alive. So, I mean, these guys, like a guy like Mendoza, it would behoove a team to say, listen, you're not playing for a year. Like, that's the thing. It's like, we'll sit back, learn, watch, see how fast it is, see this and that, but teams can't afford to do that. The aspect of having to win all the time in the NFL says, why am I paying this guy $58 million sitting on the bench? Get out there. You're playing now. You're our guy. We're going to follow you now. And he goes out there too early with a bad team around him, gets the living crap kicked out of him, loses his confidence, may even get hurt.
Yeah.
You've seen it so many damn times, but it would be nice for a guy like Mendoza to have a timeout. But is there a guy like Mendoza? I mean, is he the guy who could step in? Is he smart enough? Does he have all of the throws? Does he understand the game quick enough in the NFL to be a day one starter? You know, we're going to see. I mean, I think that the Raiders are going to draft him. I mean, he's going to go to the organization. Now, I don't know. Now, you remind me of this. I know that Tom Brady's not allowed in other facilities because he is an NFL owner, a 10%, 5% owner of the Oakland or the Las Vegas Raiders. I get it. He's not allowed in other people's buildings because he's doing their broadcasting. This is that. Is he allowed to work with the kid? Is he, whoever the quarterback is, can he go out in the field as an owner and say, "Hey, Mendoza, come here. Let me try this now."
I would think yes, but I
crazy,
don't know.
right? To think about that. But you have Tom Brady as one of your owners.
Yeah,
that's got to be pretty. That's got to work for something somewhere.
You would think.
Now there's also the old adage of like some people are great at what they do, but they can't coach it.
Right.
Is Tom Brady one of them? To be honest with you, I have been a little disappointed in listening to Tom Brady as a broadcaster, personally, because I had told you a couple of years ago I couldn't wait for him to get in the box so I could hear the way he played the game and stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't really hear it. I hear it more from Olsen and Romo. I think Romo's picked his game up a couple. He was slouching for a couple of years there. He really picked it up this year, but I think that Olsen is one of the best color commentators in the league because he can relate and he can sit there and tell the average fan, well, the knowledgeable fan, what should be done here, why is this not being done, why this is being done, where I don't think Brady does a good job of that, being who he is, Tom Brady, and being the greatest quarterback, the greatest football player to ever play the game. His rationale of the guy, I hear Tony Romo saying, throw the out. Here comes the pump and go. I don't hear Tom Brady saying that. I don't hear it. He's just like a robot out there. So a little disappointed in that. But again, we just went all way to the left there, as the Goon can do for you, buddy.
No, that's
change that sometimes up real quick. But
all good.
There's the thing. It's like some people can coach, some people know it, and some people can coach it, and some people can't coach it. They can't coach you how my mind works. Is Tom Brady one of those guys? Because having Tom Brady in your corner, if you're Mendoza, as a rookie in the NFL, and having, saying, "Hey, Mr. Brady, can I call you tonight and talk about some film work?" Would that not be a great thing to do? Yeah.
Be pretty good.
I'll be over in 15 minutes, man. Just wait there. Chill out there. I'll be over.
Yeah. It's you don't know how that stuff is going to translate, though. You're right, and that's. And in certain sports, and football seems to be one of them. It seems to be even more so. Like wrestling, the great wrestlers seem to be great coaches. They
Michael Jordan.
You go through, but basketball and football, like there's not a lot of
their fire that those two had. You can't translate that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Hall of Famers. I don't think there's a lot of Hall of Famers that try it either. And maybe there's something to that. It's like, hey, you need to be part of the grind to want to get into coaching and have it be your life. Whereas, if you're the super talented individual, it's like, I'm ready to be done with the football part of my life. I don't know. I haven't delved that far into that, but I wonder if that's at least part of it, because there's not a lot of guys that you're like, unbelievable player, but even better coach when it comes to the NFL or even college football, right? Like, think about the great college coaches. Very few of them were like all-time great players. Not most played, but that's the kind of the point is, they had to work their tail off, and then it translates because of that work ethic that they had to have to get there. At least that's part, I think, of the equation of why they're able to have success as a coach is, again, that kind of grinded out mentality that I think you have to have.
There's a reason
as part of it.
There's a reason me and Steve Sarkisian were playing in the Canadian Football League in a casino every night in Saskatchewan. There's a reason for that, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Yes, he wanted to get into coaching, and we weren't good NFL players. But we were taught by great coaches, and we wanted to hand that down a little bit.
Yeah.
So, there's guys like Shaq and Charles Barkley. Shaq and Charles Barkley, they probably could not be coaches. It's the grind of the coaching thing that would probably get those two. But those guys are absolutely fantastic at what they do, and that's just add their little 2 cents in here and there and make everybody happy, make people laugh and stuff like that. I wish the NFL would watch that and stop putting Strahan, Howie Long, Terry Bradshaw, Yuck Boys. I think that the other guys are pretty funny, and they should keep it like that. Not everything in the world is the funniest thing they ever heard in their lives. So, one of the things that drives me crazy about the pregame. So,
yeah, understood. I'm probably with you.
Kale, there's a guy. How come it seems easy for a wrestler?
I don't know if it's just that. Wrestling is a grind, so no matter how great you are, it's like you're working your tail off to be able to. And I'm not saying that football. Obviously, like Jerry Rice had amazing talent, but also, my God, a work ethic unlike any other. I don't know. Wrestling
Why is he never coached? Why has Jerry Rice never been approached to coach? Maybe he has.
I don't know if he has. If he has been approached,
but it is tough.
It may just be burnout factor.
I think guys can make that transition because
I think in wrestling part of it is I think, and I'm guessing here, but I think part of it is like if you're Jerry Rice, right, and you have the competitive fire. I don't know that coaching necessarily stokes that competitive fire in the same way. Obviously, you're trying to win. That the competitive fire is there. But like wrestling, Cal and Gable and John Smith, they roll around with the guys in the room. So it's a different type of preparation where you are participating still in the sport and competing. Now, you're not competing in terms of, hey, I'm going to beat you so that I can prove that I'm still the best. But it's like, hey, this is what I did. Let me show you. Let me roll around. Oh, I feel what you're doing there. You can change that. You're not getting out there and actually blocking or throwing to the receivers on a regular basis. I get it. They are doing a little bit of that. But mostly you're telling guys, all right, this is what I need you to do. Again, you might demonstrate here or there. But like wrestling, you're actually participating day in and day out, still in the sport. and you're rolling around with the guys. I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't have a.
And there was another thing with like a Jerry Rice and like some of these superstar guys is that when you start coaching, you're down at the bottom level. You know what I mean? You're no longer Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
You're the wide receivers coach, who they're going to listen to. But it's like you can't divulge why you're Jerry Rice to those guys if they don't have Jerry Rice's DNA. And Jerry Rice can sit there and tell you all as much as you want to hear. And I talk about Kenny Jackson at when he was a Penn State All-American, first round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles, coached college football here, was a huge reason why we had some success in the 90s.
Yeah.
Goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think one of the greatest things I ever heard was he sat Hines Ward down and says, "Hey, you're not going to make this freaking team unless you learn how to block." And he goes, this is how you're going to make the team. Is you need to learn how to block downfield. And you, as well as I know, that he became the most devastating blocker I've ever seen in the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
Probably be kicked out of the league right now. He'd be suspended every third game.
Yeah, quite like
so. But there's a guy right there, like a guy like Hines Ward, okay, was a star quarterback at Georgia, played 1 year at wide receiver because he wanted to up his NFL. He gets drafted, maybe even not drafted. I don't even know if he even got drafted in the NFL. But he goes to Pittsburgh, learns this from Kenny, listens to him, and becomes a devastating blocker. And I don't think he's in yet, but he's borderline Hall of Fame. Did he get in this year?
Yeah, I'm with you. He should. To me, he changed the position, right? Like that's. I think if you kind of redefine what your position is or what you can do, and the old. I don't know that you can tell the story of that generation of football without talking about Hines Ward. So,
what I see a Hall of Famer is this. Hall of Fame to me is were you ever the best at what you did?
Yeah.
Like God bless Mark Rivera, my roommate for 5 years at Penn State. Love him to death, my best friend. He's up for the Hall of Fame all the time, and I was like, "Hey, bud, you're not going to make it. This is not happening." I mean, there's so many guys ahead of him, and it's crap because they don't really respect guards in the NFL as much as they respect the left tackles, the right tackles. Now guards are getting some. I mean, centers get a lot of love now, but So Marco tells me, and he goes, "Bro, if you really look at who I had to play against, he goes, I had to play the Buccaneers twice. I had to play that was Sapp,
Sapp,
Booger McFarland, Wims, Derek Brooks, and he goes, I had to play the Detroit Lions with Jerry Ball, Luther Ellis, all these guys he's naming off. Then he goes, oh yeah, by the way, you got to play the Minnesota Vikings with John Randall and the white kid from Boston College with all the face paint on and stuff like that. Yeah, he had to play against him twice a year. And he goes, then you're going to throw Jim Flanagan and Brian Urlacher in that linebacking core and defense line from the Chicago Bears. He goes, that's 8 games a year in my career I had to play against those guys. 8 games a year.
Yeah.
He goes, I was all pro 4 of those years or whatever, 3 of those years. And he goes, should be something. And I was like, yeah. But that word does not get out to Joe Penn. That little stuff like that right there. Where Hines Ward was the most devastating blocker, had the wide receiver position easily in the league. I mean, again, they changed rules because of the guy. He's like Wilt Chamberlain out there, with the crackback blocks and all that, the peel back blocks coming into the box. You can't hit a guy coming into the box. I mean, so I don't know if Hines Ward could play the game nowadays, but he should be in the Hall of Fame because he was the best at what he did at that time. Crackback, cheap shot. I always say that Tim Dwight of Iowa, we played out there in 1995, and there wasn't a guy on our defense who did not get ear-holed by Tim Dwight. I mean, all the guy would do was like run a fake route and then come back, and then running back be running. He would just ear-hole. He had 11 shots to ear-hole defensive players. Every play he was doing, clipping somebody. Woo.
Yeah, I will say, I know they're and I'm all for it. They're trying to reduce injuries and all of that. But the trying to determine a blindside block, I don't. To me,
even an offensive lineman can't do it.
Right, and the thing is, at least when we were growing up, you were you got to keep your head on a swivel, almost everybody, if not everybody, who played football, at some point you got the wind knocked out of you because you didn't see somebody coming, and man, they laid you out. Like, that's just, it is, to me, it is part of football. I get that sometimes injuries occur with that and all of that, but they occur when you see what's happening right in front of you too. I just, it would be, to me, the equivalent would be, all right, you cannot set a pick in basketball unless the guy sees you. Well, then that defeats the purpose, right? So if I'm, like, you're telling me I can't.
We're taught now as offensive linemen, if you have you can ear hole somebody and clip them off from a side. You just pick, you got to cover your new up, and then you got to, like, let them go through you or around you, or they're going to call a penalty. That's not football to me. But so many dudes were getting ear holed, and they have to take care of the defense a little bit. Now, I agree with the receivers coming into the box. I'd say that you can't ear hole somebody that way. So
yes,
I get it.
But I get it to an extent.
Interception when the offensive linemen are running, and like when Warren Sapp hit the guy from the Packers and dislocated his hip, that's illegal. You can't do that now. Game changes, game moves on. Let's get better.
That one is just.
Let's get you back here by Tuesday, Ironhead. Let's get back here. Let's see if you can get back here by Tuesday.
It is going to be interesting to see what what the weather actually
brings. And then DC and Baltimore do such a good job with snow removal.
Yeah, we should have no problems. They'll be on top of it.
Amazing, having lived at both places.
Yeah, I know they should be right on top of it. Within a half hour.
Absolutely. And then they hit the ice doesn't even affect them.
No, not at all. So
we should be back by Wednesday. Ironhead
should be in good shape.
Ironhead calling in from Phillips Restaurant here in the Baltimore Inner Harbor.
I will say there are worse places to be. That is.
I'll meet you there. I'll get down there for the show.
I am okay with getting a little extra crab for the weekend if it comes down to it.
R&R, Ironhead.
We'll just have to.
Let's get better over the weekend.
Wait and see. We're gonna try. Enjoy the hoops tonight. Penn State, Wisconsin at Rec Hall. Enjoy the wrestling. Penn State again at home against Indiana tomorrow night. 7 o'clock start at Rec Hall, and then noon on Sunday at Maryland. And we'll see if and when the team gets back. And Penn State hockey again. Big road weekend against Wisconsin. I'm fired up for those couple of games. And they have 3 players on the initial nominee list for the Hokie Baker, including Gavin McKenna, of course, Matt DeMarsico and Josh Fleming, also on the early ballot for the top award in college hockey. So exciting times here in a lot of different ways if you are a Penn State sports fan. Regardless, enjoy all that the weekend brings. We hope it is a good one for all of you and a safe one. And we will be back on Tuesday with another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show right here on Sports Radio 98.7, The Fox.